A recent study on marriage and parenthood found that saving for the wedding is a big reason cited by those in relationships for not having any immediate plans to marry. But some wedding planners and couples say it doesn't have to be all that expensive. Couples just have to manage their expectations.
From overseas wedding photo shoots to glamorous banquet dinners, saying "I do" can potentially set couples back by hundreds of thousands. Wedding planner Angela Teo Anda says her clients spend an average of $100,000 for a wedding. This includes the wedding venue, food, bridal attire and photographer, which she says are the must-haves for any wedding. One of the most expensive weddings she planned cost about $130,000 for 140 guests.
They had like lobster for the food, and I think the food is about $200 per guest. And but mainly it's because everything was a la carte, where they had the venue, which is like come clean, like it's a blank canvas. We had to bring in our own decoration, even the furnitures like the table and the chairs, and of course the caterer and everything. So when you do all things a la carte, right, you can expect the cost to really be more expensive than, let's say, a package wedding from a hotel.
Ms. Teo Anda says a less expensive wedding is possible, with the cheapest wedding she planned costing a total of $40,000. Her tips for couples on a budget include keeping the guest list small, asking friends and family to help out, and do-it-yourself projects for the wedding, like decorations, for example. Couples who Channel News Asia spoke with and who took about 1 to 2 years to plan their wedding say their budget was between $10,000 and $50,000.
We're trying not to spend too much money, so our wedding is a bit non-traditional. Yeah, it's like no banquet, it's just a party.
If I'm going to do it in a hotel, which means I have to limit my guests because it's going to cost a lot. So when I do it in a temple, it's a buffet style, so I can invite more guests to come.
I think you have to plan earlier, because we realize, right, if you book the venue earlier, then the venue will tend to be cheaper.
If you know your limits, you know what you want, yeah, it's possible to have a budgeted small wedding, and it could still be very nice.
But if you want to keep wedding costs really low, perhaps having a small ceremony at the Registry of Marriages is one option. The fee for a marriage license is $26 for Singapore citizens, and you have to pay the transportation fee for the Justice of Peace, which is usually a donation of between $100 and $200.
Now, granted that you keep the cost of your wedding attire and flowers to a minimum, you could still spend about $500 for the whole wedding. But the ultimate advice for having a budget wedding, just invite close relatives and friends.